Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. It is so good to see you today. It's the end of the week already. And we're still going to talk a little bit about gingerbread stories. Today, though, I have brought a story that is so different from any gingerbread story that we have read yet. So if you can remember, most of the stories we've read, a lot of them have had a little old man and a little old woman. Some of the stories have had boys and girls, pig, cat, horse, remember the cow, and then the fox for sure. So those are all characters we've had in most of our stories so far. But this story doesn't really have any of those characters in. There's no little old man or little old woman. There is one animal, but not any of the animals that we've talked about before. It's just very different. So I thought it would be fun for you to hear one that's really different. And since it's so different, I would like to take a picture walk quickly through the book before I read it, just so that you're ready for all the things that are different. In this story, the gingerbread cookies are baked in the shape of a pirate. Do you know what a pirate is? Well, let's take a picture walk and see. So this book is called The Gingerbread Pirates. And if you look here, they are gingerbread cookies, but they're dressed in very special ways that we think of pirates dressing in. They have special clothes. And look, this pirate, he must be the leader of all the pirates. He has a special sort of hat on. And look, he's holding something in his hand. It kind of looks like a sword, but in the story we call it a cutlass. So let's see. And another thing about pirates is they usually are on a boat. So let's take a look and see just what else is in this story, so you're ready. Oh, this is another clue for a character who's going to be in this story. You might recognize that as Santa Claus. So Santa Claus is in this gingerbread story. He hasn't been in any of the other ones. So here you see a boy and a mom, and it does look like they're busy making cookies. And if you look closely, that's going to be the boy's favorite cookies. The boy's name is Jim. And it looks like it must be nighttime. Jim looks very sleepy, but I don't think the pirate looks sleepy at all. Now, normally, cookies can't do things like run around, but we learned in all the gingerbread stories that in stories like that, the cookies can do things. So look, here we've got our gingerbread pirate, and it looks like he's trying to go somewhere. And if you look here, can you tell where he's trying to go? Those are steps. But I would imagine to a little gingerbread cookie pirate, it would be pretty tricky to get down steps. Well, here comes the animal that's going to be in this story. What do you think a mouse might like to eat? Ooh, the pirate looks nervous. Oh, and there's their beautiful home. Oh, well, I guess there is one more animal, but that cat just seems to be sleeping. And if you look here, there is the pirate. It looks like there's more than one. There are some of his pirate friends. But I would say what? How do you think the pirate is feeling right now? I'm thinking worried. He still looks worried, but it looks like someone's come to see him. That actually looks like a cookie jar. And do you see what's inside the cookie jar? Oh boy, the pirate still looks worried. Well, it looks like he's talking to Santa Claus. It looks like all his friends seem to be in that jar. Oh, we're getting close to the end of the story. Oh my goodness. What do you see here? Do you remember me saying that pirates always like to be on ships in stories that we hear about pirates? And finally, look at the face of our gingerbread pirate. He finally looks happy. And there comes our mouse again. And the little boy who was making the cookies to begin with. So boys and girls, what we just did is we just kind of looked through the book quickly to get an idea of what it was going to be about. But now when I read it, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to go through the book, and I hope you enjoy it. Little mouse is calling to me again. I got to see what he wants. Little mouse, what is it that you are calling me about? I'm getting ready to read a story. Oh, he's coming. Oh, did you hear that noise? Look what little mouse has again. I think he wants to sing that same song from yesterday. But little mouse, we did sing the whole song yesterday. Remember? Oh, he thinks we need to sing it one more time. And this time, put in the word pirate instead of gingerbread man or gingerbread girl or gingerbread kid. Well, I suppose we could do that. Little mouse, is the reason you want to do this so you can ring the bell again? He loves ringing that bell. Okay, little mouse, you get ready to ring the bell and we'll sing the song. Remember how it goes, boys and girls? Take a little dough and put it in a pan. When it's nice and flat, you make a little pirate. Now it's got to bake. Put it in the oven. 10 minutes is the rule. And when the timer ding, 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 you take it out to cool. Oh, gingerbread, gingerbread, delicious gingerbread. Just as sweet as he can be. A pirate of gingerbread. Little mouse, that's enough. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to hide that at night because I sure wouldn't want him to be ringing that bell while I was trying to sleep. All right, boys and girls, are you ready to hear the whole story of the Gingerbread Pirates? All right, Mrs. Fussel, get it ready. So we already saw the cover. The author is Kristen Kladstrup. And there's an illustrator as well who drew all these pictures of gingerbread pirates, and that's Matt Tavares. So, the story of the gingerbread pirates. All right, are you ready? There. It was Christmas Eve, and Jim and his mother were making gingerbread men. Let's make a pirate crew, said Jim. And so they did. The captain had a gingerbread cutlass and a peg leg made from a toothpick. Jim loved him best of all. You'd better leave some pirates out for Santa Claus to eat, said his mother. Not Captain Cookie, said Jim. At bedtime, Jim took the captain to his room. I wish you had a ship, he whispered as he climbed into bed. Then he lay awake listening for reindeer hooves on the roof. Captain Cookie seemed to be listening too. Jim fell asleep, but Captain Cookie went on listening. Where's my crew, he wondered, and who's this Santa Claus who wants to eat them? When the house was quiet, he swished his cutlass through the air. He rested his peg leg. Tap, step, tap, step, tap, step. He climbed down into the darkness. Then he ran. Step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. He ran until he came to a cliff. He dropped his cutlass over it, then followed. He found his cutlass, and then, so there he is. Another cliff! So he did it all again, one cliff after the other, until he reached the bottom. Then Captain Cookie had a shock. A mouse was nibbling on his cutlass. Why, it's half gone, cried the captain. He grabbed the cutlass and slashed at the air. Oh, it's ruined, he moaned, and off he went. Stomp tap, stomp tap, stomp tap. Merry Christmas, called the mouse. Christmas? What's that? Thought the captain. Then he turned a corner and saw something that astonished him. A huge tree with stars in its branches. Ahoy there, called a voice. Looking up, Captain Cookie saw two pirates climbing down toward him. My crew, he thought. And there they are, climbing down. Do you see them? The two men, Wavy and Dots by name, dropped to the ground. They jumped right up, but the captain saw that Dots had broken his hand. No cutlass, and now a wounded man, he thought. Just then there was a thump and a scrape. A black cloud puffed toward them. Run, shouted the captain. Do you know who it is? They ran until they had to stop for breath. Who is that? Asked Dots. Must be that cannibal Santa Claus, said Captain Cookie. We've got to get out of here before he eats us. Where's the rest of the crew? Up on that cliff, I think, said Wavy. Start climbing, men, said the captain. We've got to do some climbing. Up they went. They're in jail, cried Dots when they reached the top. Save us, cried the pirates. Wavy and Dots kicked at the prison walls. They tried in vain to move the roof. What about a rope and pulley from the ship, said Wavy. What about the ship's cannon, said Dots. There is no ship, said the captain. And then he noticed a strange look on Wavy's face. And he whirled around. What he saw made him wish for his cutlass. A gigantic man was leaning over them. Young Jim always leaves cookies for me, he said, but the plate was empty, so I came in here. Look out, boys, ordered the captain. The big man lifted the prison roof and peered in. Don't you eat my crew, shouted the captain, raising his fists. The big man blinked. This is your crew, he said. Yes, said the captain, and who are you? I'm Santa Claus, and I swear by my sleigh I won't eat your men. Sleigh? What's that? Some kind of ship? That's right. Swears by his ship. He can't be all bad, thought the captain. Still, he was suspicious. "What are you doing here?" he asked. "Why, it's Christmas." "Christmas," said Captain Cookie. "I wish somebody would tell me what that is." Santa Claus laughed. "Follow me," he said. "I'll show you a bit of Christmas." Back beside the starlit tree, the pirates watched as Santa Claus reached into an enormous bag. "What have you got there?" the captain began. "It's a shipwave," he shouted, and the next thing Captain Cookie knew, his men were swarming its decks and rigging. "There's cannons and cutlasses," cried Dot. The sky glittered with stars. The captain rubbed his eyes. "Real pirates," he thought, "and a real ship." He turned to look back. "Merry Christmas," he called, but Santa Claus was already gone. On Christmas morning, Jim's mother found an empty plate on the mantel. "It looks like Santa Claus found the gingerbread man," she said. But Jim was admiring his presents. His favorite was the pirate ship and the pirate crew. The captain had a cutlass and a peg leg, and Jim loved him best of all. And that's the end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. It was just very different from the other ones, so I thought you might enjoy hearing how you can make all different sorts of gingerbread cookie stories. Maybe you might even have an idea for a gingerbread cookie story and where what your gingerbread cookie might look like, or where it might run to and who it might meet. There's so many possibilities. Well, we had a little bit of a homework activity, and I wanted to take a look at it with you. There were all sorts of sheets that had pictures on them. And yesterday, here, I'm going to get it ready here. Yesterday, I showed you how you can cut them apart, and then they're like a puzzle. You have to find the piece that fits with it. Now, in your packet, you probably saw there are lots and lots of these. So we'll just do a few so you have the idea. And that's a game you can make, a puzzle game, and you can play with that anytime you want. And maybe you could get other people in your family to play. So here's what you do. I just put out all the pieces I had that are facing kind of this way, where the empty piece is on this side. So we're going to try to do some matching to put the puzzle pieces together. So I'm going to just grab one. And if you look closely, that gingerbread man has a sock on it that has some water dripping. That's because the sock is wet. So now we have to find a word that rhymes with wet. So if you look here, that's like the fin of a fish. So does fin rhyme with wet? Fin, wet. I don't think so. How about this? It's just a picture of some hair. We call that a wig. A wig. So does wig and wet, do they rhyme? No, they have the same beginning sound, but they don't sound the same. Wig, wet. Very different. Okay, let's look up here. There's a picture of a net. So let's try that. Wet, net. Wet, net. I think I finally found the rhyme. So I'm going to just stick it right here. If you spread yours out on a table, it'll be much easier, I think. Well, let's get the next one. The next one has a crayon on it, and the words say that this crayon is red. So now we have to find something that rhymes with red. So let's go back again. Red fin? It doesn't sound like a rhyme. Red wig? No. This one's already done, so let's try red bed. Red bed. Does it rhyme? It does. So I'm going to put that one right here. So now we just have 2 left, so this will be easier. There's not so many choices to worry about. Okay, this next one is a picture of a pin. A pin. So let's go to this first one again. Pin, fin. Pin, fin. Yes or no? You're right. We got that one on the first try. Okay, let's hope it'll stick there. And we just have 1 left, so we know where that has to go. It's a picture of a pig. Pig, wig. They do sound alike, don't they? Pig and wig. So, but there are so many more cards that you can cut out and play matching with and make puzzles. So I hope you have fun with that. I have something else you can work on this weekend too. The other day we found the letter A and B, and today I'm hoping you can find the letter C. We've got big C and little c. So first you'll count up all the big C's or capital C's and write the number here, then all the little c's. And on the back, there's a little activity about syllables. And I think maybe you've talked about syllables before. That just means how many parts a word has when you count it out. And I'll just kind of slap my leg for counting out. So that's a heart. So let's slap it out on our leg. Heart. How many times did I slap my leg? Just once. That word just has 1 part. So then what you'll do is you'll color the gingerbread man that has a number 1. Now the next one, you can see what that's a picture of. Pig. I'm just hearing 1 part again. But now let's take a look at that. That's a lollipop. So let's count that one out. Lollipop. How many times did I slap my leg? 1, 2, 3. Lollipop. So that has 3 syllables. So you're going to color the gingerbread man number 3. We can do 1 more. Let's take a look at this guy. We've been talking about gingerbread all week. So let's try that. Gingerbread. Gingerbread. 1, 2, 3. Gingerbread. So that's another 3. So you can do both sides and you can work on your puzzle game this weekend. I'll see you on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I'm hoping to really see you. We're going to try and have a little Zoom meeting, but I'll tell you more about that on Monday. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye.